Now, there are also, like we said, shurut al-wujub. And these are the conditions for the salah being obligatory. And the author, he's not talking about that in here. So, inshallah, we're just going to throw them down so that you have them in your book in the same section. But make sure you divide between the two. The first of these, the salah is not obligatory on a person unless they're Muslim. Not in the way that is obligatory on all of us. In that even if they prayed, it's not acceptable. Because the condition for the acceptability of it is that they be Muslim. You see how that works? The non-Muslims, yes, they are obligated to do what we're supposed to do as being Muslims. But none of it's accepted from them until they become Muslim, if you understand how that works. And I hope you do. So that's the first thing, the first of the conditions. The second of the conditions is what we call, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put 2 and 3 together, a taklif. Alif, lam, ta, kaf, lam, ya, fa, a taklif. Alif, lam, ta, kaf, lam, ya, fa, a taklif. A taklif is made up of 2 things generally. The first of these things is al-aql, that the person is sane. Is sane. A taklif means that they're responsible. Remember, we talked about individuals being responsible for those things that the rest of the Muslims are upon, or that they're responsible for. The first of these things, as I said, is al-aql, that a person is sane. The second thing that makes someone mukallaf, and the word is mukallaf. A taklif is the responsibility. Al-mukallaf is the person that is responsible for it. Al-mukallaf. This is the person. The other condition for him being considered to be responsible, or her being responsible, is what? Is that the person has reached that stage where they're saying, where we say that they've reached puberty. Al-bulugh. So the 2 parts of a taklif are al-aql, their sanity, al-aql, that's alif, lam, ayn, qaf, lam, al-aql, wal-eh, wal-bulugh. Al-bulugh is alif, lam, ba, lam, waw, ghayn. Al-bulugh. These are the 2 parts of a taklif. So the responsibility for they have to reach those 2 conditions need to be met in order for the salah to be obligatory on it. So we have Islam, then we have al-aql and al-bulugh, which we said is a taklif together, those things together, those 2 things together. Another condition for the salah being obligatory on an individual is al-naqa min al-hayd wal-nifas, that a person is free from their menses and postnatal bleeding. So here we're talking about women. They have to be free from their menses and their postnatal bleeding. If these things aren't going, then that salah is not obligatory. You understand? Now, if the salah, if a woman is on her menses and she's on postnatal bleeding, then the salah is not obligatory on her. Meaning she doesn't have to make it up. I forgot to explain it to you now. She doesn't have to make it up. Right? Now, I know you all have heard this phrase before. And niqab min al-hayd wa nifas. Because when we were doing the book of fasting, we said one of the conditions of acceptability of acceptability is this situation. All right. This is there. It's not acceptable that you pray during that time, but it is still obligatory. That's why you have to make it up. The fast. Here we're talking about the salah. With the situation of the salah, it's not even obligatory on you to begin with. This is why you don't have to make it up. And the next one, the next of these conditions that we want to talk about is what we call bulugh ad-da'wah. Bulugh ad-da'wah, meaning that, the information has come to you about the obligation of the salah. That the salah is obligatory on you. It's something that you have to do. Right? And these things here are from the conditions that have to be met in order for the salah to be obligatory. And again, we said that these are shurut al-wujub. Shurut al-wujub. So make sure you keep these separate so you don't get them all messed up. Understanding what is a condition of acceptance or acceptability and a condition of obligation, keeping them separate is important because there's a huge difference between something being obligatory and something being acceptable. Right? Something can be obligatory and not be acceptable. And as we said, like with the situation of the fast, needs to be made up, as opposed to something not being obligatory from the beginning.